Hi, welcome back to Gamescape 3D. Today we're going to do a speed paint of one of our little peasant houses to show how easy these things are to paint. Here's the peasant house I have to paint today. It has been primered black. Okay, so we're all ready to go. So I got about 3 minutes into it so far. We got the base, we got the roof, and then we have a few smaller components. I have flat boards here for the loft, and then I got a little itty bitty window parts there, and then I have a hood for the flue up on the roof, and this could be resin printed or FDM printed. And then lastly, we have a little ragtag door to put on the front with a filament hinge. All right. In terms of prepping the model, sometimes these little holes where the filament's supposed to run through can get clogged up on your resin doors. Sometimes the resin will just settle in there when it's washing out and kind of harden. Sometimes with these doors, it might just be a little off. You know, you might need to clean it out. If you do, you can use a drill bit. 5/64 is the size you need.
Oh, it's blue.
All right. Let's just go live. Sound good to everyone? We are live here. So hey, old, welcome.
I could be like
Fourth annual. Isn't that crazy? Fourth time.
Yeah.
We've done this on a Wednesday night, getting everyone together, just having a nice conversation. Last year was nuts though, with that double weekend, right, Keith? With us playing games and stuff beforehand. Yeah. So welcome to everyone. Let's introduce everyone around the table. This is round one of 4 rounds of actual discussion. Just get together as many people as we can here. I'm trying to get everyone on the camera without, these are brand new cameras for me. So, Mr. Goo, Phineas, introduce yourself. We'll go around. Ed and Anna are co-hosting with me. So welcome.
You are the co-host.
Yeah, absolutely. Anna's my partner in crime.
I didn't know you were the host with the most.
Oh, yes.
Neither
Yes,
did I.
Yeah, so you go first.
Yes,
Go
well,
for
it says
it.
I am Alphinius Goo. My real name's Kim. I don't have a British accent, but we will
live,
stay with
dude.
Alphinius
I'm
Goo
live.
for the rest of the time. Yes,
Yeah,
I am
all right. I'll talk to you soon.
involved with an organization called GUI Q. Don't mispronounce that, as we discussed today at lunch. Yes, we'll go no further. We will stop with that. It is good to be here, Jay.
Thank you so very much for coming, and like I said, thank you so very much for the support on the Saturdays.
Always.
Really appreciate it.
When we raid you and jump all over and do all that craziness.
Yeah, well, it's good. I mean, you guys are, I really appreciate your content too. It's
Well, thank
you've done a lot of wonderful things. So, the legendary Greyhawk man himself, Eric Mona. Come on, Eric.
Hi everybody.
Big True.
I'm Eric Mona. I am, I guess I'm the legend here. I don't know about that, but I
yes.
did some work on Greyhawk long ago.
Yep.
And now I'm the publisher and chief creative officer for Pathfinder and Paizo. But I'm here in my D&D fan guys, and so I'm here to run some second edition D&D, which is
Awesome.
exciting, and just soaking in the vibes and getting it. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. And looking forward to seeing Venerian Vord come out on.
Yeah.
And I'm playing your game,
Yeah,
which I'm
that's it.
so excited for.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Oh my
awesome.
gosh.
A continuation from the fundraiser.
I can imagine a few things that might occur, and we're going to find out together, and I couldn't be more thrilled.
Thank you so
So
very
you are playing in that game.
I am playing in that game.
So
I'm
you are a
playing
character.
Venorian
Yes.
Vord, the priest of Radishaz.
Venorium Vord.
Venarium Vord.
Venarium Vord.
Yes.
Priest of Ralishaz.
Radishaz, the god of good luck
Yeah.
and bad. Yes.
If he dies, I shall contribute $200 to the fundraiser.
Oh my God! Well, the fundraiser's over.
This is my favorite character.
There must be a resurrection. There must be a resurrection along the way, or else you don't get the $200.
Oh my gosh! Oh my
Yep,
gosh, that's
Venorian Vord
nuts.
is in trouble.
$200 is a lot of money.
Yes.
I've done a lot more than just die.
Yeah.
I've lived for 200 years.
I know a guy.
I like this. We'll keep
We'll have a
workshopping
little
this.
chat.
Yeah.
We'll whisper back and forth.
Yep.
So, Eric, welcome back, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Keith, A lot of people don't know you're the founder of Eberron, right? A lot of people, the younger generation doesn't know that. So welcome, Keith.
Well, we got to do it again. Now do this. Here. Very good.
So yes, I am the creator of the campaign segment of Eberron. I also make the program Loom, and I also continue to make all kinds of games in my company Together Studios. And in particular, you mentioned the Marathon Double Weekend. Well, Dave and I have indeed been DMing at Founders and Legends this last weekend. So I've already run a bit of first, second, fourth, and fifth edition in the last few days. So I'm ready to take it in.
It's excellent to have you back here, and we'll talk about some of the things you got going on now. So very, very cool. By the way, I'm standing, if you all know, because I got some serious health issues. If you all, it's easier for me to stand and sit with the double hip replacement. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I would stand also, but then I'll just be cross cam.
So, a gentleman I've never had on stream
If
ever.
you stand, $200 for the.
Oh my God! All right, there you go. That's awesome. Never had you on, Dave, and I'd love to have you on in the future as well, Dave. Walters, correct? Is that who you
Dave
did?
Walters. Which my camera? Is this my camera?
This is your camera right
I'm
here.
making meaningful eye
Is this
contact.
in the way?
No, that camera's showing Ed and me. As long as they lean forward.
This is not in the way.
That's no, we're good.
That is true. Yes.
Ed doesn't need a plan.
Yeah, Ed's leaning back. He needs to lean forward.
It's in his writer. Okay? It's in his contract. Yes. Dave Walters, I do that. You can find me all over the interwebs. Wherever fine streaming content can be located. I was the first dungeon master to have a campaign on television on G4 TV. Ran the game for the cast of Stranger Things for Netflix Geeks. Written official D&D comic book. I just roll dice anywhere and everywhere they'll live.
Excellent. And it's an honor having you here.
It is an honor to be here.
Thank you so very much.
So should we do this? Yes, we can
Yes.
do this.
I'm a Federation non-standard human.
So next we got a pair, a match set. And no, but I
It's
think
not
no,
matched.
listen.
It is not matched.
I want to say this. I
Unmatched.
think that they're both so made for each other, and I'm so happy that you're both so happy. So thank you. So we got
Sweet.
you're welcome. Jeremy Gosser, who's Astrolier, and Tony Winslow Brill, who everyone knows from all the way back to Living Greyhawk days. So welcome, Jeremy.
Yes, very good. Very good. Hello.
And regulars on my channel also now in 2 Drink Minimum, Edge Group.
Yes.
Yes.
Regular now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, until I kill you. No, I'm just kidding.
That happens.
No, you want to
This
be
is like going to
regular,
be your,
not
it's gonna be your
irregular.
third game.
Cheers. Third.
And you also played with an area of Vork during the fundraiser. Both of you did, yes. So,
I do wonder what's going to happen with that treasure map we found together.
yes, yeah, we'll tell that story. It was awesome. So,
He's saying it's not good.
Tony, a little about what's going on. You're writing.
Yes, I do a lot of writing. I've written for a bunch of different companies. I worked on Camp Keep Mysteries. I just worked on a whole bunch of the Crooked Moon, which will soon come out, I think.
Magnificent.
Yep, that'll
Magnificent.
come out. And then I have a lot of projects that are, can't say anything about, but I did some stuff for MCDM recently.
Awesome.
Did a bunch of stuff. I get to do all the fun stuff sometimes, so it's kind of cool.
It is.
Although
It
my
is.
daughter teases me, she's like, "What are you doing? It's like midnight." I'm like, "This is due tomorrow."
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
So familiar.
Correct.
And Tony has Nixolia, and,
Yes.
and Jeremy has Rylan, Helm Splitter, a dwarf, a priest of Clangeddon, and we have a fighter mage, and she's kind of like the lesser. I want to say that
It's
to
lesser.
this man, to this legend here. So Ed and Anna will be here for the whole time. They are co-hosting with me. So Ed, you gotta lean forward just a hair on that one. So that's good, Ed. Perfect. Legendary Ed Greenwood.
Another $100 for the fundraiser if Ed holds that position the whole
Oh,
time.
he
no.
would. He absolutely would.
No, have to breathe occasionally.
So we missed you. We missed you, Ed, this year during the fundraiser event. I know you were ill, and but we're gonna have some fun on Saturday with the group. So tell us what you got. Tell us a little about yourself, because some people out here may not know, considering we're going out to a lot of people. right?
Right.
Lots and lots of viewers.
60 years ago, 61 years ago, I created the Forgotten Realms. And I am older than dirt, as you can tell, and have written everything. I've done a D&D comic. Yeah. Yeah.
Nerds.
Here's a little story. I may have told this last year. So everyone knows about this Robert Wardog, Canadian guy that gets all the he was in all Popular Mechanics and all. Anna thought I was that guy when we first met. I got the longest campaign for 38 years at the time, and I was like, I always have them by 2 years, right? Because my Grail campaign's in its 45th consecutive year. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. So everyone, there's a Twitter thing. This is going back 2 years ago. There's a Twitter discussion going on about who's got the longest campaign, and I said, well, mine's 45, and this gentleman comes up and goes, you can have the American record, Jay. Right, Ed? And you're like, I'm like, well, Ed, when did you start? Because I didn't realize that Ed started before D&D even existed. I did not know that. So, we'll give Ed the longest campaign ever award by far. So, cheers to Ed.
I feel every day of that.
How come I got no booze?
Absolutely.
I was like, I don't really drink either, so.
I appreciate that you said 60 years, 61 years, and in my mind, that means we just literally crossed the line.
Yeah.
It was today, 5 minutes ago.
Yes. And we had a great seminar event last year here at GaryCon where he showed maps from like 68, which is like, 6 years before D&D? It's insane. Yeah, it was a fun one. It was definitely a good one. We got another good seminar event coming up we'll talk about, I guess, later on. And lastly, Anna, you're going to have to lean forward a little too.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm Anna B. Meyer, and I do maps of places that don't exist. That's what I usually tell my neighbors, and they think I'm an idiot. But that's so wonderful to come here and talk to you guys because you know what I'm doing. So, yep.
And Anna and I have been partners in crime for a long time now.
Yeah.
Almost going on 7 years.
Yep.
So yes, absolutely. I'm not spoiled. Anna customizes a Grail map for me, and but we've always done all our talk shows together. We have Gavin on Sunday nights, as you all know, and we have Legends Lore with Grail Mike, who'll probably be here late on Wednesdays. All right, so here's a question for you all, and then I'll ask the first one. What are you most excited about for this con? Who wants to go? Something you're really looking forward to. Simple.
I'm going to say I'm playing Deadlands on Saturday, and I've never played that.
Cool.
It seems like an interesting group of people, but also I've only been out for 30 years or something. About time I've done that.
Excellent.
I'm running D&D second edition for the first time in public in like 25 years.
That is
so
awesome.
That's pretty exciting.
That is,
Do it very well. Let's see if that still keeps up a quarter century later.
That's the tower thing, right? That's
No, I'm doing my own game.
who's doing Tower Gygax here?
I'm playing it now.
No,
Playing? Okay.
I have to kill people. That's made
yeah,
very clear.
yeah.
There's much destruction.
Yeah, we are side by side.
I did it last year, not actually doing it this year, but I will say, of course, I was part of the group that ran it the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
And we actually ran it 72 hours straight. I don't know if they're doing that now, but we ran it 24 hours then.
Oh, wow.
And it was pretty intense. And
That's awesome.
When I ran it last time, the encounters I wrote for it back are still there.
So what you're saying is they lack commitment for stopping the sleep, is that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We are lazy.
That's what I.
He's blowing down on us right now.
I'm just
I
saying.
see it. Yes, it's a push.
I don't know if that's what he was saying. That's what I heard.
Well, I'm just saying, in the first 2 years, I put in my 140 hours running Tower of Gygax, so...
Very cool.
I'm looking forward. I just love meeting the people. Anytime it's like 'cause I interact with them online, and then you see them in person, and they realize I never lives. That's what I enjoy the most. Meeting people.
Fantastic.
You're a leg man,
That's awesome. I like people too. And
Do you?
I do. Shocking. No, I really do. But we're trying a bunch of different stuff. Like I was like, I'm throwing darts. Like I'm gonna be like, I don't even remember what my schedule is because I'm trying so many different things and just gonna mix it up.
But your character, Nixoli, doesn't like people.
She does not like people.
Yes, exactly. I love the character. I made it so that Coco Bunny's character is actually her aunt in the campaign. So we got a half elf, and then she's got a full-blooded fight. They're both fire mages too, which is really fun.
I'm only half cool.
Yeah, you're. How about you, Jeremy?
Just gonna be meeting people new.
Yeah.
People I've met before, Jay, Aaron,
Yeah.
already sat and talked to people for half hour and stuff. The line, by the way, was great this year.
Yes, they tripled the number of people they had doing it, so that was good for Silver.
Yeah, because
Very,
last
very
year
good.
it was walked all the way around. What was it in the Christmas story? The line reached all the way back to Terre Haute. That was the line. Yes.
I went to GaryCon for the first time last year, not as a guest, but just as an attendee.
Right.
And I've been working in the industry for like almost, let's just say 20 years or more. And the novelty of standing in line, I was kind of excited about, not having like a guest badge and that novelty wore out pretty good.
Will.
Did you take some
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my
friend,
friend came by and he's like, "Oh, I'm a guest. I can go get your badge. Do you want it?" Yes.
Yeah, you
Here's
were-
my badge.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours that you moved 10 feet.
Yes, that was
So wait.
the water boy came
Yeah.
by and brought water to everyone in the line.
For a special for the game, butter me up because tell the story you told it last year. But why'd you come to GaryCon last year?
Well, Jay, you were a big advocate for
Thank
me
you very
coming to
much.
the show. I was a little nervous, like, we split off. We did Pathfinder. Would I be welcome at a D&D?
Right.
More than I know, like in 3/4 of people.
Exactly.
I think I'll be welcome.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been great.
And it's
I owe it to you just for encouraging.
well, you are a legend. I mean, the stuff we do in our campaign, like Expeditions in the Ruins of Greyhawk, Age of Worms.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yep.
Stuff that's like just legendary.
And
You
the whole
know?
era of Greyhawk and stuff was.
The Paizo Hawk era was awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you. We're doing a seminar about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my top thing I will look forward
Yeah.
to. Yep.
I actually have a question. I would
Go for it.
hear your answer because I've heard this now from Luke and from Andrew Scott, who runs the tournament there. How do you pronounce
I pronounce it Ayuz.
Oh,
That's how I say it.
good.
Leonard Lakofka told Anna and me on a show, and by the way, he came on like 40 times. He just show up and then disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
He passed, yeah. So he said it's simple. I ooze. I oozes.
See, that is always how from a child. That's how I've heard in my head. But over there, I've heard it's
He is.
Oh, I don't like that.
Use guys. It's
I've
like
never heard that.
I use, yeah.
water.
I use is,
So I'm glad.
oh yeah, I always said that too.
You're not supposed to say something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Old one.
Yes.
And you don't mean.
Which old one?
Yeah. I mean it in a bad way.
So you gotta be careful.
When we say the great old one, we mean because he's great. He's great. He's great. He's the great old.
Ed's the great period, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Ed. I mean, the gentleman is so giving of his time. Like every time I ask him, it doesn't matter. He goes, Jay, if I'm free, yeah, no problem. Every time, it's just amazing. Just amazing. You're an amazing person.
I have a theory. Ed is a gamer.
Yeah.
Will want to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It's a game.
Absolutely.
There's people in this business who are just writers or they don't know. Ed's the real deal. And he'll show up when you ask.
Yep.
That's the vanity people. There was.
Yeah.
Can you backlight him so he has a little
Yeah.
halo?
Hello.
Hello.
Right?
Yep.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not watching chat.
And
So
I'm looking
Oh, you're not
forward
watching
just
the
to
chat?
meeting
I got
friends.
too much going on
There's
here.
a lot of
Yeah.
curses. I'm watching.
Oh, that's okay. Swearing's okay on my channel. That's it. So, Mr. Goo, what do we think?
Oh, listen.
What do we got? What are you excited about?
So many things, right? So first and foremost, it is wonderful to be here with you all. I mean, legends, right? People marvelous, right? It's marvelous. But to interact with this wonderful community, right? That is 50 years, right, in the making now,
Yeah.
right? More than 50 years in the making. And in your case, I don't know how long. It's a long time, right? but we are, we are fulfilling the Tomb of Geisengax Kickstarter,
Yes.
which we're in the process of fulfilling that right now. And of course, now we're working on the second thing. And here is one of the things. I just want to show that because
It comes on.
Is that magnificent?
That's it.
Yeah, it looks
Devil in
Oh, devil of a detail. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So Luke and I have had a discussion. I'll turn it this way. I'm turning it this way. Yes. Luke. Okay, now you can go. Ooh, yeah. So there is the ghost.
I recognize one.
So that is the ghost of Geralt Geisengax there. And apparently, according to Luke and I have had discussions around this. Apparently, sometime before he is passing, this devil, who remains nameless currently, apparently, I'll turn it back so everyone can see. It's
good.
Right? So this devil, he made a deal. And apparently, there was some signature that is required, so he doesn't have his tower repossessed. So that apparently the adventurers have to get involved in this somehow. There's a party in the first part, the party in the second part. Anyway, I hear Ed might be helping us to author this.
So, Luke's a busy man.
Yes, he is.
And it will come out for Old School Essentials and 5e.
Yes, that's our plan. Yes,
Yep.
that's our plan.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Everything going forward, that's
Yeah.
where we're going. We're
Okay.
going to do 5e
Yeah.
and OSE. So that's our thing.
Awesome.
But that is cool, yes?
Can someone get the door, please?
Yeah.
You'd
And I
know
think it's a good concept. We'll see how everybody likes the
Oh, we
law
got
and
it.
order.
Yeah.
There's
So-
my shameless commercial.
That's okay. Well, Anna and I are going to do. Anna and I are going to do one right now, and
Oh, no,
that is
we're-
we have a publication going to come out with Luke too. Greyhawk. Yes. Melf's Guide to the Lands of Greyhawk. Book 1, Borderlands of Ayus. So, right after this, we're going to start
Not
picking that
oops.
back up.
No, not
Ayus.
Exactly.
Yes. It's all going to be a story of Melf in the early days. So, yep.
Back to 576.
No more Knights of Luna. Gone.
Uh-oh.
Gone, because,
I felt like there was an opinion
yeah,
there.
no, it's gone.
And
And no
yeah,
more.
I heard that too. Yeah.
I'm not going to swear. No more effing vampire Thrommel bullshit.
You did just
So there you go.
Say,
He went effing, and then he said
Yeah.
shit.
No, yeah, you know I hate it. So
and he had a whole fundraiser
And if you
about
want,
the vampire.
yeah, I had a whole fundraiser.
Yeah.
I thought you
But
had
no
no
more.
module on your wall of fame.
Oh no,
Exactly.
no, Return to Temple, no, no.
I mean, I was a content.
I understand that, and I feel bad for you.
And if you want the adventures of Melf,
I know, Eric. I know you play tested it, but you didn't write it, so
Some of the people, some of the time.
that's it.
Yeah.
if you want the adventures of Lord Melf Arrow
Yeah.
right now, and Merrick's to Kenneth, Eberron, and Elminster Shadowdale, and Legacy of Worlds, the podcast. So you get Luke playing Melf right now.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I should have come. As you know, I brought my costume.
Yes, I brought my costume too. And Luke always has his costume.
Yes.
You guys dressing up
So I need to.
for the
you know,
Legacy World
try to
stuff?
figure this out.
I assume.
There we go. He's on.
Wait, you need to.
I'm just making
Not
sure
here,
that Ed
not
is
now.
on because that camera is as far back as I go and I can't
We're
scroll it
undressing.
out anymore. So it's all
Oh,
good.
this camera right
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Do you need us
Slide
to
it this
adjust?
way a hair.
No, we did our costume bit already.
That's good.
Oh, did you?
That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
You did not know I had this level of technical capability.
I was
Yes.
very.
These are the first time I've
Very
first time I've used these here. First time I've used these here ever at GaryCon. All right, so other co-hosts, ask a question, please, of our guests, your esteemed guests.
I'm kind of curious now when you. Oh, now I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about all the cool. But anyway, we have the Tower of Gygax is that quick game that you're supposed to play for 2 hours and kill off as many characters as possible. But when you run other games, have you the long arc or how many hours is like a I'm running a 6-hour game because I'm such a lousy GM that I need 2
Great
hours
question.
starting position sort of to get going, so to speak. But are you running your game, for instance, Eric? Is that a 4
I
hour
just
session?
started a new game and we're doing 4 hours.
Yeah?
That's about as much as we're all like late 40s, early 50s. That's about as much as our bladders can do.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
And
Yes,
I
sir.
want to make sure that everyone's focused. You know, if longer
Yeah.
time you lose focus.
Yeah.
4 hours at that. Perfect.
Yeah. I guess I'm betting on my players losing focus so I can hit them hard at the end, so to speak. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had my last session. session I had 3 characters down to -9.
Oh,
Nice.
go.
And they all lived.
Okay.
And then because it's second edition, we got to camp out in a room in the dungeon for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then we can just come back again.
Yeah,
Yep.
it worked out really well.
Yeah, near TPKs are among the most fun, so to speak. Yep. Yep.
That lovely -9. No Death Door spell?
I definitely, the thing is, a lot of what I run these days are one-shots.
Yeah.
At conventions. And for me, with a one-shot, I really look at it like this is a short story, this is a movie. Like, you've got to give people the whole story there.
Yeah.
So for me, 4 hours is about right for that. Because it's a combination of, as Eric said, too long.
Yeah.
And people get exhausted.
Yeah.
Too short, you don't really have time to get that.
Yeah.
Now, I will say I'm going to be DMing at London Castle, D&D in a castle.
Yeah, then you get.
Not this weekend, but next weekend. And one of the things I love about that is over the course of a couple of days, you get 24 hours of game time.
Yeah.
And so the point is, I love doing one shots, but for me, the best part of role playing is when people start to know their characters, and I know them, and like the story is really building. And so in 24 hours, I got time to really get
You
to
can
know
get them, if someone goes off on a tangent for a couple hours, that's just great when you have 24 hours of gaming.
And since we were just talking about 72 hours, 4 hours, yeah, guys, I mean 24 hours over the course of 3 days.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's not a consistent.
Everyone's sleep.
That would involve
but,
methamphetamine or something like that.
Everyone liked commitment is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's what you're saying.
But,
That's what I heard.
yeah, but it sounds like we can, at GaryCon, we can have the concept of a 24-hour game session. And yeah.
So,
It's just over 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I did do one other interesting, just different ways of running things. I did an interesting thing on my Patreon, which is that I ran a game just once a month for 4 hours.
Yeah.
But it was an ongoing campaign, but with ongoing characters. The characters were established, but any patron could apply to play.
Yep.
So every session, the players were different, but they were playing the
Yep.
characters that everybody knew. Like
Yep.
by the time you were a little ways into it,
Yep. That is
everybody's
interesting.
essentially
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
it actually worked really well.
Yeah.
Occasionally between sessions, I would like do little polls for like
Yeah.
what's the new thing, who's the stranger coming to town. And so
Yeah.
the whole
Thank you so
point of
very
it
much.
is,
Yeah, I
again,
really
I
appreciate
love
that.
that evolving campaign feel.
Yeah.
But I didn't just want to do it for 6 people. And so here I actually had like 300
Yeah.
people,
But-
involved in this, and it actually still felt like a tight campaign. Like everybody cared about the characters.
Yeah.
It was a really fun experiment.
Yeah.
I've stopped now, but I did it for about 2 years, and it was really fun.
Did you have anybody who kind of went off the rails? Like, here's an established character, and then they're like, that's not the character I'm playing. I'm gonna go this way.
It
And
was interesting because the way it worked was we had the established cast, which I actually started by doing a series of polls with the players to say, okay, we're going to have 2 tough guys in town. Is it the blacksmith, the sheriff, the old soldier, or the gallant knight? And they choose. And so we built up the characters as a community. And then with which character, I had like a little list of this person likes this and doesn't like this.
Yep.
And when people applied, they would say, I want to play blacksmith, blah, blah, blah. So first of all, people had to come in saying, I want to play this character. Nonetheless, I'm still surprised over 2 years I never had a problem play. Like, when you're just bringing in people you potentially never played with before, it's always a concern. I will say I recorded it and shared it with my Patreon and my patrons, and any patron can still watch all those adventures. I didn't stream it live in part because I don't know. Like, some of the people were amazing role players. It was really fun to watch. Some was just your sort of standard game where it's definitely fun for them. But you can't predict. So as I said, it was a really interesting experience. But yeah, it was all pretty much positive. I'm just surprised about that.
Yeah, I've done something similar in my Shieldlands game. I've run it for 3 conventions now, and it's the same characters, and the story just continues. So when we stopped at Gamehole Con last year, this will pick up exactly where we left off, so to speak.
And I've actually done sort of the opposite of that. I have a number of one-shots where the one-shots have established characters with stories connecting them. Like as I said, I really like when I'm doing a one-shot. You feel like this is a movie, like it makes sense by the end. But the point is, I've just run the same one over and over and over and over again. So I have an adventure I've run 69 times.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's when you really polish it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
It was fun for me, sort of as a routine, up that point of getting to see, well, how does this group take on those characters? What are the decisions? And I will say, having run it that many times, I have never had it go exactly the same way twice.
Cool.
There's always been something that I've never seen, that combination of choices or things like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
So in terms of the session length, if you're streaming, 2 hours is optimal, 3 hours is the maximum length. For a one shot, 3 hours is good, 4 hours is the maximum length. Again, at D&D in a castle, I've run like 22, 23 tables over there, and so it's in like 4-hour chunks, which is good because people start rethinking. It's just they just don't have the capacity for more, even though the mind is willing, but the flesh is weak. And when I was doing my Patreon, I was running 35 to 40 games a month for 18 months.
Wow.
Which I do not recommend.
No. Yeah.
But the way I did it, I keep saying, is a similar vein. The story was about a ship. It was a mercenary spelljammer vessel. And so each session was just the next mission. So it was like different people would be there, but it's U6 going on today's mission.
Now, I would say, just as a thing to people who have too many friends, is this is an issue I actually had with the game, was, when I was running games at home, I had a lot of people who wanted to play, and I had 18 people who wanted to play. And what I actually did with the campaign was I said, everybody made a character, and I just said, I'm going to say I'm doing a game this Wednesday, first 6 people who respond come up. And the reason I think of it is it was the same thing. It was based around, here's the tavern, literally, well, who's showing up in the tavern on a Tuesday night? It's that sort of centralized thing where you can sort of shift people in.
Similar to what you were saying, I didn't record and stream it, but I did open up the Discord so other players could just be watching.
Yeah, that's smart.
They wouldn't be held accountable. Like, the next group is like, well, the jail burned down yesterday. And they're like, what? It's like, yeah, that happened. Anyway, a lot of prisoners are loose. And so that's why we called you 6. And it's like, it was always sort of rolling based on that.
So you think 28 active adventuring parties in a campaign is too much?
Yeah. Not over 45 years.
Handle it, Jay. That's all.
Yeah, that's the question, right? For me, I mean, if you're talking about convention, I completely agree. 4 hours. But I am not an online guy. No shade. I mean, I love that people, honestly, the experience of online and the ability to be able to do it has made many more gamers.
Yeah.
We all know that,
True,
right?
true. Absolutely.
And allowed friends who have left areas to be able to be together, right? Even in the virtual tabletop, which is magnificent. But for me, it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock on a Saturday. They come over, we sit in the backyard, we smoke pipes and cigars, we chat and have role play. Then we have dinner, and then we play till 10, 11 o'clock. So that's a
bonding.
That's a Saturday.
That's like my junior high with less smoke.
No, there was more smoking. It was just different pipes and cigars. Yes.
We've known each other for a while. We have to say that during our organized play days, there were a lot of let's play a midnight session because we can get more banter.
We used to try for a
Midnight
midnight, but it's
Madness.
too old. We're too old.
Just as one more random thing, I would say my favorite convention I go to, Gary Con I love, Game Hole Con I love, but my personal favorite is actually a convention in Portland, Oregon, which is called AmberCon Northwest. And it mainly focuses on indie games, but it's a Thursday to Sunday game. Pretty much everyone who comes is running something. You're taking turns, but it's 7 slots and they are different lengths. And so the point is you have a 3-hour slot, you have a couple 4-hour slots, and then on Saturday, you have a 6-hour slot. And you request which slot you want when you're submitting your games. So the point is you have that opportunity for, this is one we really want. That deeper
I gotta tell you, I'm surprised because we tried I think it was a couple Gen Cons ago, with our crew, our GUI crew, to run track games, right? So we got 4 hours here, 4 hours here, 4 hours here, all running together, and those were the first ones to sell out every time at Gen Con. Every time, those have been the first ones to sell out. So,
like a 3-rounder?
Like a 3-rounder, yeah. And we weren't sure about it at all, but they are definitely, there are people who want to play longer than just the one shot, which I guess I can understand because you get a little more depth of character. What were you gonna say?
I've gone to Gen Con since '95, but a lot of our organization is playing organized play stuff. We're running campaigns for Pathfinder Society, or Adventurers League, and my mindset when I go to con is a 4 or 8 hour block.
They train you.
You know, they kind of train you, and they all run the same time. But when we have the tracks offered, typically when we go to Gen Con, it's somewhere between 12 to 24 people trying to all play with. So it's like, what events do people want to play? We're trying to grab tickets to that, and then we organize tables later because it's like you say, scene driven.
Yeah.
So we try to do that. Now at home, I'm running Dragonlance right now, 5e for 2 tables because my sister found out I wanted me to run another table. Was happy to, but now I'm doing 10 and 2 parallels to go with that with 2 different groups. It's very interesting what the characters are one versus another and what choices are being made.
Yeah, I do think it's really one of the things that I love about actually publishing stuff is you get a lot of feedback from people telling you this is how they did this adventure. Oh, this is a reminder. I need to go on your show. clearly, I had the wrong time.
That's right. Ed helped you out.
Thanks, man.
You'll need another 200.
Hey, I am serious about this. I owe you $200 right now.
Okay,
so
we
I'm
can
serious
we
about
can
that.
work it out. So if you
I'm not dead yet. Oh, it's because you stood.
You did the crotch cam.
so if you all know, we've raised $32,000 for St.
Yes,
Jude
that's
this year.
magnificent.
Yes.
We surpassed last year by $6,000. And I thought we were going to have a tough time getting it there. We got there.
No, that's magnificent.
Yeah. So some of the people here, Rob, especially Phantom over there, he was one of the instrumental ones. Yeah. We had someone. We have a community member. He may be on. I don't say names, but their family ties every year, and this year they donated a lot of money.
What about you, Tony? What about your home game? Because we almost got to you. We didn't quite get there.
Oh, it's fine. I don't have too much time to run. I usually end up at a convention running a lot of times.
Do you like longer games or shorter?
You know what? It depends, honestly. So like I like those days where you come home and you like have a whole Saturday because honestly, who's actually gaming that whole time? Everybody's talking and goofing off, and you have to build in that time because otherwise you're really not getting anything done. So, but those days where you have like a whole Saturday, it's fine as long as I can prepare in my head and ahead of time and stuff. And I enjoy doing whatever but a lot of the stuff I do stuff is at like convention play, and it is like 3 to 4 hours, sometimes longer if I really have an idea. But there's times where I'm like, you guys got nothing to do, like you set for a certain time. You guys are good? You want to keep going? All right, we'll go for another couple hours. That's fine. And they'll be talking to the dolphin or whatever random thing they latched onto. And it's like, that's fine.
One of the crazy, it's awesome. When Tony's not on and Ed's not on, they ask for Tony more than Ed.
Of course. Look at Tony.
Come on. I do have to say, there's probably a number of reasons.
Yes.
I'm just saying, everyone loves Tony. Everyone loves Tony.
Well, she doesn't have a beard.
Well, the Film Girl Project just on chat just said Ed's beard is majestic. Yes.
But I can say to all the viewers, I was so hesitant on running games at conventions because it was like, I love to do maps and stuff, and I'm probably maybe a decent GM, but I wasn't sure that I was actually that good at running games. And then meaning the top of the players come to conventions, they pay a heck of a lot of money to come here and spend vacation time and all that, and can I live up to it? But then I realized after done it a couple of, like 4 or 5 times now, that the coolest thing, you get the most motivated players. Meaning they have taken time, they have traveled for hours, days maybe, and spend a lot of money and are so into it and so motivated. And that means that it's just awesome. In a home game, you play every other week and so on, and it competes with everything else. And when you play online, people have kids, technical issues, and whatever. And when you come to a convention, it's all about the gaming. Everybody's in the mood, and that is something I can recommend to people. Don't be scared. Try and play. Don't put yourself out there too hard, but run something you really love and present to people and run it. I can really recommend it.
Here's the other thing. This is how I kind of do it. Because some people get really nervous about that.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I'm never going to see these people again. So if they hate me, it's fine.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true in some games.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But usually a lot of times you're like, If I do a bad job, well, sorry.
And for me, it's another benefit is that since I put basically I let the players run pre-gens that are NPCs in my world, and I run them in areas where I'm mapping, so the players help me in world building during the sessions. So they come up with cool stuff, and they also help me inspire. So I world build during the sessions. I come up with names and we add cool places and stuff, and then I make the sketches. I take pictures from the tiles, and that goes into my local maps and the regional maps, so to speak.
Do you let them know that?
Oh
that
yeah,
you're doing
oh
that?
yeah.
That's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of times they'll be like, "Hey, oh my God, this is what's going on," and you're like,
Yep.
"Well, it is now."
Yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yep.
Deduce my
Exactly. Yep.
That's
Could you
Yeah.
possibly have known that?
Yeah, exactly.
what
Yep.
a great idea.
Oh yeah, you can leave half open because your players will fill in.
I
it for
enjoyed
you.
it.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
great.
So I have a question for you, Anna. Now that you've done it a few years, what's the feeling of getting feedback on some people who created a written from players and how they
Oh, that is just awesome. That meaning I sit at home and I do things that no one understands what the heck I'm doing, and my neighbors ask me what I'm doing, and I'm saying I'm doing maps of places that don't exist, and they look at me like I'm an idiot. And then I come to conventions, and all of a sudden I'm with my people, my tribe, and,
My
and
tribe.
people understand what I'm doing. And
You're a god.
no, but it's so cool that way. I can people understand, and yeah, it's just awesome. Yep.
One of the few things I do, I'm not a writer like other people here, but I write organized play once in a while because I get
Yeah.
that itch. And running my mod or having other people run my mod, that's why I do it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of financial fun money, but a lot of it is that feedback
Yeah.
is really cool. Right?
Yeah.
Really
Yep.
enjoy
Yeah.
that.
What,
And
they
it's-
pay you for
I was going to
doing
say,
that?
what did he
Yes.
say?
Yeah, and
This
and-
is making
yeah.
money.
You now.
Yeah, and it's so cool when people come up and say, "Oh, I played Midgard, and we used the maps you did for Kobold Press and stuff." And oh, what did you put in there? What? And I was like, "Oh, that's like 10 years ago, and I didn't know," and so on. But and then people like someone came up to me today and said, "Well, you see, I talked to Gary Gygax back in the day, and I had these ideas, and he said these were great. Can you put them on your map?" And it's like, "Oh, that's awesome!" So I took down notes, and that will be on the updated version of the map now. So it's like there are always these little add-ons that will. So yeah,
Except some of those Living Greyhawk names, like Applebee's.
Applebee's is not too bad. It's kind of it's good. Yeah.
Change it 20%.
It's
20%.
good. Applebee's is a good one. Yeah, it's a good one.
1P and Apple.
Yeah.
Applebee's, or is it a location?
No, Applebee's was.
You're asking me questions I don't know the answer.
It sounds like a lowbrow
A-
tavern.
I was only involved for a certain.
Yeah. Applebee's was actually a place that was placed in Ernst
Yeah.
near Brockton. That was a town called Applebee's, or a village maybe. That was Applebee's. And
Yes.
there was also an adventure set in, I think, Grand Marsh in Living Greyhawk that was set at the Inn of the Golden Arches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it was Grand March. Yeah, exactly. So, but I don't know if it was officially sponsored or not. But it was set
I
that way.
remember that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. So there are these little anecdotes, so to
proprietor was
speak.
a clown.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
You saw what I did there?
We all do childish, silly stuff. I mean, two of Anna's favorite NPCs in my campaign
Oh yeah.
are named, something kind of childish. So, yeah.
It's me working on
None of
my
us
English.
would
I
ever,
like how
ever do
there's
that.
like this curvature of embarrassment based on the fact that you're not willing to say what they're
Yeah.
One's a bugbear, one's a goblin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take my word for
They're
it.
named
Yeah,
after
yeah.
excrement. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poopy and doopy.
Yeah,
You're close.
It's
You're very
me
close.
working on my English. So,
That's
but,
closer
yeah.
than you think.
Two little gnomes named Poopy and Doopy.
Yeah, it's close. Yeah.
A bugbear and a goblin. Yeah.
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 And when I heard it the first time, it was that's silly but funny. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Ed's been awfully quiet, man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna? You gotta want to ask this great.
Yes. All of
guest.
these, this lively discussion of time slots and what you'd like to do at conventions. I'd like to widen that and ask you, if you were attending a convention and money doesn't matter and schedule conflicts don't matter and time doesn't matter, what would you like to do at a convention that you don't often get a chance to do? Is it lucky dips?
You
Is
know,
it
I really want to say something because the one thing I don't get to do almost all the time is be around other my day job, I'm a creative director and advertiser, as you know that, and it's our own agency. It's been my life, and I tell you this with all genuinity. Is that right? Genuinity?
It is now.
With all genuineness, I have never in my entire career, and I've been around a lot of creative people in the advertising industry, I have never been around so many amazing, imaginative, creative people who write things and make things and draw things. And it's just, it is so, it's like feeding my soul. I cannot tell you, it is the truth. It is what and I don't get to do that back home, right? It just feeds my soul.
I mean, I'll just say that is also one of the things I love about both Gary Con and Game Both of those, they're just the conventions that I do end up getting to actually play games with people who make games, and to just talk about things. I love Gen Con, for example, but time is always an issue. Everybody.
Yes.
Everybody is always so busy. And that I agree with you. It's one of the things that's wonderful about this. It's just a chance to actually get to talk to people who understand make amazing things.
I mean, just sitting here with you all is amazing. I mean, it's just amazing to me.
And just to add to that, meaning this, when you come to a convention like this, you realize how many special niches and aspects there are to the hobby. Meaning there are portrait painters, there are DMs who run it, there are all the streamers, content creators, the rules, the adventure makers, and so on and so forth. That, meaning my little map thing, that's one aspect of it, and it's so cool to see all the different pillars and aspects and stuff of the hobby, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with another friend of mine, like 2 days ago, about this whole thing, and I made the joke that I am like a people vampire in that way, because you can be like, nobody's not necessarily gonna be like, I have this cool idea. What do you think? Would this work in a publishing thing? Because it's different at home, and being able to bounce those ideas and then they're like, yes, but what if you did this? Like, I love that stuff. Like, what if you did this and tried this thing, and I'm like, oh, and then we could do this, and you kind of get rolling, and then that stuff is great.
Tony, I got to tell you, the geek, I am convinced the geek community, and it's partly, the reason we're here is because of your imagination. Right? This is the truth. Right? The reason we are all sitting here is because of our imaginations, right? And normal 60-year-old people don't do this.
We're all getting up there.
Right, Jay? They don't, right? Anna?
Yeah.
We don't do this.
Yeah, you're now you're
Rookie numbers. He was making the forgotten.
But when you think about it, the geek community is filled with all these imaginative people, and it hasn't gone away from us. We haven't gotten to be 60 years old, or 50 years old, or 40 years old, or whatever we happen to be, and put all that away because we live in the real world all the time.
Yeah.
That's what I think is so special.
And it is something to me that is sort of obviously back over the last decade or so, a lot of stigma has been lifted.
Yes.
But even back then, one of the things is that as children, all do things, and just at some point there comes this thing where, you're not supposed to do that anymore. Or people are embarrassed because they say, I can do that. I said, no, you could.
Yeah, we just kept doing it.
I think one of my favorite things is when you get to hear what your work has meant to someone, or you see someone.
That is
Like, I don't even know if you remember this, Ed, but just one of my favorite memories was actually one of your victories was back in 2018 at the Stream of Minneapolis when they brought you in. It so happens I was there.
Yep.
And we walked into Waterdeep, and it's Waterdeep. And they had all these framed notes of yours and like handwritten maps and things that they hung. And I was there when they were unveiling it to you, and I was like, I can't imagine what it's like to be like, remember that thing you did that you thought was just a doodle? It's like, well, it's this now. And we're all here because of it. I mean, that is just such a beautiful sentiment. Just getting to see people get to experience that and be handed their flowers. Because a lot of times, you don't even think about that. For you, you're just doing it because you love it, to your point.
Yes.
But then you're like, but just like that's feeding your soul, your thing is feeding someone else's soul. And when you get to experience it, it's like, oh, that's a human I didn't have. Like,
For me, the joy is when younger people, like a generation younger, are now picking up and using stuff that you created. In my case, in the Realms, and we have like talented writers and editors like Aaron Evans and Susan Morris, and they grew up reading my stuff, curled up as kids, and now they're editing it and they're writing it, and they're spreading their wings and writing their own stories. And then there are people who are doing things that I could never do. Sitting in the chair you're sitting in now, about 3 hours ago, that quiet, unassuming guy Andy, who wrote that piece of software for the Incarnate tournament that ran every encounter in original D&D, AD&D, so you could just spread it out. And I'm going, oh my God, the man's a giant, because I can't code like that, so.
Well, the thing, what you said, I've told this story before, but you all have never heard it, so you get to hear it again. You have heard it. It's like 1980, right? And we've been playing in sort of our own world and all of this stuff. And I go to this little store in Montclair, California. And I walk in there, and the guy who owns the store says, hey, you want to check this out? It's a new thing. And I'm like, what is the new thing? And I picked it up, and it had this beholder on the cover with a drone elf, right? And up at the top it said, Waterdeep and the North. And from that moment on, we lived in the Forgotten Realms for many, many, many years, sir. Many years.
For me, it was the Greyhawk Folio, 1980 Folio. Yep.
And I have to say, for me, I started reading the AD&D hardcover books when I was like 7. And I didn't run a D&D game for like at least probably 4 more years, but I loved the monster manual. Like, it was just this book full of
Yes. Yep.
And like deities and demigods, because now I can say, okay, if Zeus fought Thor, what would it look like? I mean, but that's the thing. I love that. I read Dragonlance as I was through high school, and for me, it's the experience of I had a number of people just in the last couple of years, in their early 30s, coming to me and saying, oh, I started D&D in high school, and it was Eberron, it was amazing, and things like that. And for me, I'm like, no, it was Dragonlance.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that thought that for someone, that experience, which was so meaningful to me, was something I made, and it is just, it's
And I can recall, because TSR would allow me to sit in on design meetings for the week, around Gen Con, and I was always fighting with Lorraine and her secretary, her senior secretary, to understand there are people who never get to game. They live somewhere in the United States where there are no gamers around them. They take these books to bed and read them. Yes, they're rule books, they're not the novels, but they're reading the modules and they're reading the thing as entertainment. You have to write them so that those lonely people can enjoy them as well as the gamers, because those lonely people will grow up to become gamers, or they'll start gaming with their group, or they will be your future writers, or they will be your future editors. So make sure that the thing has worth to reread and is entertaining in its prose.
That's been a real big part of Pathfinder Adventure Path, the series that we've done like 215 of them. And they've got to be fun to read as well as to play. I would go so far as to say the majority of consumers of this material don't actually play it. They dream about playing it, they put it on the shelf until they need it to talk about the swamp adventure.
Exactly, they use them.
But they're living vicariously through that, and it's got to be fun at the table, yes, but it's got to be fun in here.
Well, and you ponder, world building, and what so many game masters do right there, and they take pieces of this, what you were just talking about, right? Oh, that's a great idea, right? And they're taking stuff that you wrote, or you wrote, and they're putting it together, and they're going cross system and all this other stuff that's going on, and it really it enriches them, and I totally agree. We write everything to entertain the game master first, as best as we can.
Well, the young lady who brought me this, who made this for me, the first time I met her was at a Gamehole Con, and she sort of grabbed me by the elbow, steered me into a corner, and then she was explaining to me in great detail how she'd imagined this worm in the Worms of the North that I'd written up one thing on this encounter that I just said, so and so fought so and so, but formed a partnership with a wizard who rode the dragon as a steed. And she's saying, okay, now I imagined that they met like this, and this was what they would have had to bargain. So, and then she had dialogue and everything, and she just spun this all for herself because she's sitting alone reading it, and it's like, ooh. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, that's canon now because you brought it to life. Yes, so from now on, that is the way it happened. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And I can tell from my role as a cartographer primarily is like I'm that supporting actor that does supporting material, and for me it's so awesome to read all the adventures and the source books and stuff, and then try to create the canvas that can aid in further development and world building and for DMs and stuff. So I see my role is that one of these supporting actors that makes one of these things that are one of the key supporting, and I just love to play that role, so to speak. So yeah.
Actor, you deserve an Oscar because those maps are what draw people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
The front page, the first thing you do is you look at the map of the world where the story is, and when you read a novel or you look at a game supplement, it's, oh, this is a really cool place.
Yeah.
I like that, and then flip back.
Yep. And yeah, so it's one of these things, just like general artist, because my thing is like a little bit artistic, but also a lot of technical stuff involved. So it's like shred both ways. But then you have artists and others who make these supporting things that make the text and the other thing come alive, so to
It's
speak.
amazing what type of artists come from it because
Yeah.
my character in the second arc of Living Greyhawk was named Arnold. That's a river out of Evermeet.
Yeah.
That's where I got it.
Yes, I've not thought about Evermeet in quite a while.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Across the sea.
So as we finish up round 1 of 4.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
You're going.
I have 4 groups. Yes.
Like continuing. Well, we're round 1. So you have
Every
2
year.
hours, 2 hours, 2 hours.
No, roughly 45 minutes each.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
roughly 45.
I mean, you know, if you go 72 hours,
So,
Exactly.
yeah, I just,
Whether or not we can meet it.
He's throwing down again.
He wasn't worried about drinking tonight. He could just run a stream.
yes.
Yeah.
4 of you I will see over the weekend in my game.
sure will.
And I want to invite the other 3 that have never played in my game to join us in one of our Slav Squad or 2 drink minimum games. So in the future, all right? With Ed, Tony, Eric, 2 drink minimum Ed's group.
And set that
Yeah.
standard.
I brought the shirt.
Yeah, yes, yep. 2 drink minimum, and the Slavs were named by the ladies Bones and Darling, who should be here for
That's
round
okay.
4. So
I don't
yes,
mind seeing you do it,
absolutely.
whatever.
Anyone want to say anything in closing? Look, I really appreciate you all coming
Yep.
and just talking up. This
Don't
is
we need to
great
give Jay a
discussion.
hand for a couple?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very
For
much.
standing throughout.
Well, up and down, all around.
I
You know,
would
so.
say, dear viewer, if you ever have a chance to come to this con or any other, do it.
That's it, Dave.
Yeah, for sure.
Pleasure meeting everyone and seeing you all here. And just, I know we'll be all closer because of this con. That's the great thing about. That's why I love Gary Con so much. We all leave with great memories. And that's the cool.
Like Crocs on a case jar.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I want to screen. Listen, if I'm going to pay $200 for that, I need a screen cap that I can put on my page.
I like it.
I gotta, because we closed out, I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure out where to send you a link to. Just put it in the St. Jude fund, because we use Tilt to Fund. I'll talk to you. We'll talk.
I'll give you cash today.
No.
Oh, don't do that. He'll spend it in the
No.
Yeah, might be. Yeah.
Poor kids.
So please enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone, and please, have fun. Have fun here. So,
Yep.
Well, thank you for
Thanks a
having
lot.
us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
What a great start.
What a great start.
Grab Mike. Okay, round 2ers. What we got?
Fun being with you.
Yeah. So are you going to be busy?
Yes. Well, probably, Ships in the Night.
Yeah.
There's a song there, Barry Manilow thing or something like that. But it's good to see you.
Yeah, what? Very nice to see you.
I'm doing fine. How are you?
a lot of housework and stuff.
So new house.
Not yet.
Eventually, you gotta get first
I still gotta get rid of my pit.
And then you build your castle.
Yeah.
Great time as we're keeping the shooting line. Thanks.
Someplace that can't get flooded.
Correct.
Yeah, since I had that happen too.
My books are gonna be improved.
I will try if my
I didn't answer your question.
Oh, okay. No, actually, that is better than a Gauntlet of Doom because
Sounds good.
repetitive strain.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeremy accidentally.
Okay, so
Wow.
He
Wow.
bent my wrist down, and I tore scar tissue in there. So
We were in a rush to get between sites, and I went to sit and she didn't move her hand out, and it made a sound, and I
it hurt.
Nice cover story. I know what it really was.
it was a good vacation. Now I'm trying to
those two seats sound good. All right, awesome.
get her down to cities and we'll have
Tim,
Yes.
yes. Make it quick, please. Corey, why don't I put you in where Arkmon was sitting? All right.
Hi. Have a pew.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ed. Hi. Mark. Good. Hi, Gabe. No, I drove 2 days from Ontario. You know where Rochester, New York is? If you walk on the water straight across Lake Ontario, you'd hit the quarry that's between me and the lake.
Okay, so who am I
I mean, the
missing?
car knows the way, but I had to break it
Tim is
the first night because I turned on I-94 to go straight west into Chicago. I'm driving straight
Got
into
my-
the sun, and I can't see a thing. So I yank out my military goggles, shove them on,
put you right where.
and now I can see large, dark
absolutely.
outlines. There's supposed to be signs telling me.
Send
what
round
highway
two,
I'm on,
everyone.
and I can't read a thing. So I went off.
Round two's coming. Round two, we gotta have Golf Mike over there, Tim here, Anna here. Sorry, we're a little behind.
Have a cookie, Chip.
No, I'm trying to quit. And besides, there's no reason to have cookies when something else is coming shortly.
Oh.
Randomly, it's random every year, so. Well, I sent Will out on a mission. Because of the, we'll tell the story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So. A lot of community people here, so.
Yes.
Don't let him in.
And I am going to finish the restarting of that computer, which has been bugging me for the entire first episode.
You're going to hit yourself, right?
I'm just going to.
Mike, we're going to put you on the far over there, okay? All right.
No beer on the table?
All right. So we got Ed and Anna coming, and we got William Henry Dvorak here coming, special service. Have a seat, guys. Relax.
Tim, good luck.
Good luck? Oh, no.
You're right in front. Smile.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's the smile, man.
Yeah.
And you got the scruff. You're scruffing it up, man. All right.
I'm on leave.
Got a lot of community people here. So almost everyone here has played in my game, all but one, which is awesome. Round two. Ed and Anna are off doing their thing, and we'll see when Will and Von Moken come back. And so welcome. We'll start this. Go ahead, Tim. Everyone introduce themselves. We'll go this way. Tim, go.
We'll
for
go
it,
this
man.
way?
Yeah.
All right, I'm
definitely.
Tim. I hang out with Court in some Lord Gazuma games, and Pip and Mark. This is great. And Skylar hanging out all the time. Stronghold Gaming. We represent a little bit of a 988 mental health and suicide awareness on our stream. Wow, Ed Greenwood just sat down next to us. So I'm trying to
That's all right.
keep it tight, but yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Ed's the man. I mean, Ed agreed to co-host this year, so you know, Ed was here most of last year. So
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So the legendary Ed. So all right, so strong. Go ahead there, Court. A virgin to Gary Con.
He has to use that word.
Is that another old cord?
I like telling stories. I like researching.
Sorry, I have to grab some.
It's okay.
Yeah. I'm starving to death here. No worries. No worries.
Cord has how many characters in my campaign now? 3 or 4?
3.
Kane?
Oh yeah, I forgot Kane
4. 4. Yeah, Tim has 2. Yes, absolutely. So there you go.
I have a third.
You have a third. Is it a paladin?
Nope.
Oh wow.
It's not.
He's even laughing.
It's my sorceress named Extra Gen.
A what? No, I
My
don't-
sorceress named Extra Gen.
What class?
It's gonna be awesome.
What class is that?
Yeah.
Oh! Ice cream run.
All right.
All right. So, this, yes, we have vanilla and chocolate. Everyone at the table. This is round 2. Please feel free to take one. Absolutely. Pass it along.
Tradition.
This is the tradition. I buy a round of ice cream for a random one. So, Will, thank you for doing that. Please take one.
There will be some chocolate over there somewhere.
Yes, there's chocolate over there, vanilla.
I'll grab a
Yes.
chocolate. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Lucky,
grab
you
it.
good? You want a vanilla or? Yep. All right.
But this one
Ed,
has
you
a
want
lot
one?
in it, so, yeah.
Mr. Diabetic probably shouldn't.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'll take a chocolate
Mr.
then. Why
Robin,
not?
this
All
is,
right.
soon
I'll take a
diabetic.
chocolate.
And here's your spoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got one left. Bill, it's to you who decided was kind enough. Do you want that chocolate?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I'm too fat. Thank you.
Here for the Black Knight.
The second highest donator every year for the fundraiser. You want the chocolate?
I got it.
All right.
Oh, chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chocolate up over to Phantom.
I got
We'll
you.
be in round 4. There you go.
All right. Look at that.
I almost just
See the virtue that shineth like a beacon to all men and some women?
All right. Okay. Awesome. Sorry about that. Will, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it. So I'll tell that story after we do introductions. Gentlemen, please.
Hey, I'm Skylar, also with Stronghold Gaming with Tim.
Yep.
I admit I need to get into one of your games.
Cool.
It needs to happen sooner than later. But I am the back end of Stronghold Gaming. I run, the back end. I run
Cheeky.
the stream, phrasing, whatever you want to say. I run the stream from OBS side and play multiple characters in the campaign. So I'm excited to be here for GaryCon number 2 for me.
Awesome.
Excited to be part of this group.
This gentleman really needs no introduction. The Greyhawk original blogger, Greyhawk Mike Bridges. Great, Mike.
I am not in one of Jay's campaigns.
But he has played.
Just once.
Yes.
Just once.
Yes.
Greyhawk, Legends, and War.
Yep.
And yes, I can log and do all sorts of things.
And a lot of bloggers that exist now because they were inspired by Mike. So definitely, absolutely. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then Mark.
I'm Mark, one half of Marky Gaming with Rachel here, and we do a D&D game that we stream, and we also play a service game.
Yes, with this weird sexual tension between the two characters all the time.
weird.
It's so
Wonder
weird. Yes.
It's eased up a little bit.
Yeah. And
Sir
they-
Tim checks on it.
Yeah,
And-
he does. He checks
Yeah.
And Rachel.
How's it going over there? Is it normal? Okay.
I am Rachel, also known as Pip online, and yeah, I stream with Mark. I'll do art, so I do all the PC and NPC art for our campaigns, and I stream art also just to go hang out on our channel.
Welcome all. Round 2. Thank you
This
all
is
for
Ed
coming.
Greenwood?
Ed already introduced himself on the person's time. So,
Hey, just a guy. You know?
I'm just a guy.
yeah, so I love doing these because you get all different, we had a lot of names in the first, right, big ones. But now we have a lot of community people here, and that's the intimacy part of it. So, well, not that way. Not on camera.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff.
So tell me what you're most excited or looking forward to for GaryCon.
Yeah.
So go ahead there, Tim. Start us off, man.
Well, I thought, over a couple conventions, it was really important to me to meet big names. And this year, after having met just about everybody that I wanted to meet, I'm really looking forward to like giving it back to my table. So if somebody just showed up for this convention, I'm really hoping they leave here and want to return for 10, 15 years because of the experience they had. So my goal and my anxiety and stress is to make sure that I impart my craft onto them and make sure that they're just like, man, D&D is the most fantastic thing. It is the most fantastic thing ever, but to make sure I go home tonight, get a good rest, and give them a good show. Lots of Dr. Pepper.
Yes, yes, lots of Dr.
Korg. I got it. Korg, the new to. You've gone to cons before.
Oh yeah, I've gone to cons before. In fact, I went to a board game tabletop-esque TTRPG convention called Tantrum Con back in January that helped get me familiar with like a lot of the systems and like signing up for games ahead of time. So, you know, when Gary talked around, I was like, okay, some of this is familiar, but I am very excited to get the lay of the land, meet a lot of new people that I've only interacted with online, but I've already met a ton of people, which is absolutely fun. Very excited for the charity auction happening. I've never been a part of a charity auction before, so I'm very excited.
It's going to be they raise a lot of money. A lot.
Do you know how much they like raised?
50 grand minimum. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So I will probably be cheering them on from the side. I don't know.
Hey, no big deal.
Oh, yeah.
No big deal.
I'll throw in a couple of bits to help. But then I'm also very excited to get DM'd by a couple of people that I've never been DM'd before, namely Tim.
I will DM you so
awesome.
I'll be in 2 of their games tomorrow, and then also during that same day, I'll be trying out my very first Pathfinder. I've never played Pathfinder before. It's been on my list for a while, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna try it out.
It's very cool. Eric Mundo would like to hear that.
Yeah.
Actually, fun fact, is it true that he graduated from Emerson College?
I believe so.
That's my college.
Really?
So I graduated there in 2021.
Nice.
What's up?
My God, you're young.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Oh my God.
I was born in the 50s, so I'm going,
New experiences all exciting.
What's, go ahead, anyone else want to chime in there?
Yeah, I'll say for Gary Con number 2 for me, I'm looking forward to playing some games that I've never had a chance to play before. Obviously, I'm going to help Tim run some of his games. Go play some Call of Cthulhu, maybe. I love the chaos. But then just hanging out with people that you don't get to see on the regular. And I love the community here. It's great.
And Mike, are you here through Sunday? Because I know you guys are in and out quick. Okay. What are you looking forward to, man? Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have a good seminar tomorrow too. Yeah, what's new in Greyhawk? Every year. We'll wing it as we normally do in those. Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple new books then from people, and just a lot of other stuff. A lot of stuff has happened in the last year. Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Mark? What are you excited about?
This is our 5th year here, 2nd year running game. I always enjoy meeting new people. I get to have work with online in the game, which would be awesome. And yeah, just looking forward to meeting new people. And I feel like every year when I get into games as well, I always get inspired by other DMs and kind of how they run things.
Yeah.
That does help me have ideas for future things that run into my games. And it's always a great time.
I can't believe our paths didn't cross in all those other Gary Cons. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point we recognize faces, but we like never actually met them.
Exactly.
You know?
That's yeah. A lot of people look. I've seen that person before in
Yeah.
the convention. Yep.
Yeah, even like I might have played a game with them. Like, you don't quite remember.
You know what's really scary? When people come up to you at Gen Con and say, "Man, It's my daughter. And you look at this little kid in the stroller, and you look at the mother and go, I remember you being in a stroller, being brought up to be at a and I think to myself, oh my God, I'm old.
My God.
Yeah.
Look, Elminster, there's a lot of kids.
Yeah. I no longer kiss the babies. You know? You spread germs that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird. It's,
I'll say. I've never had that happen yet. So,
but in a way, it may be like weird for that moment, but it's great for the hobby because it means, oh, good, generation after generation after generation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So just, it's going to be a real fun time. I know I'm going to be burnt by the end of it, like I am every year. But I just can't get drunk like I did the last couple of years. Right?
Oh,
I'll take it for you, sir.
Yes.
No.
I can't imbibe too much.
What you mean to say is you shouldn't.
I should
You
not imbibe
can
too much.
get drunk. It's very
No,
easy.
I behaved myself last night, so.
Yep.
Hey, Heather. Yeah, we got
This is
people
where it
running
falls
over.
apart.
All right, so go ahead, Ed. You got to have a question because there's a younger crowd here, right? Compared to you and me. Not Anna, but you and me.
Anna's young.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I said not including Anna.
Okay, so my question would be,
60 today.
if money's no object, time's no object, life obligations don't matter, and you could play anything with anybody that isn't a game.
That isn't a game.
That is a game.
That is a game.
What would you like to do? Well, is it theater of the mind? Is it a board game? Is it a combination? Is it ham acting? Is it no acting so you don't have to put on funny voices and
For
whatever?
eternity or just like right now?
No, right now, as a one shot, something you haven't done before that you'd like to do. I don't mean this is your life path. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, I don't know what it's called, but there's this. I saw like a video about it where people will go to some castle in Ireland or Scotland or something, and they'll play D&D. Yeah,
Dave Walters is one of the DMs.
see that man's head that is back to you, wearing
Yeah.
black? He'll
Yeah.
be dungeon mastering there
so
next
cool.
week.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's
Keith
so
Baker, who's sitting with him with
Yeah.
him, he will also.
Yep. They
Yeah.
go Northern England. There's a castle.
Yes,
there.
that's what.
They
Yeah.
also have them in the U.S. now, too.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or D&D in Texas, and it's just in my ranch home. And I can just put
There we are.
weird scenes in the background. It looks like a castle.
And then you could, but in between rounds, you're flexing and lifting weights and stuff, and putting that on Instagram.
Just kidding. Yeah, roll. Yeah.
Spots between rounds.
Yeah. Weird. That'd be
I wish I could, man. So what? That's a great question, Ed.
Yeah.
I would do another 24-hour stream, a mega stream, but I'd have every single person I know in person. Everyone who plays in my campaign, they're in person, running it. Maybe they only do 8 hours each, but I run it for 24. I would do this mega. I've done mega adventures, but I do this mega adventure, right? And it would be like, because I've done connecting adventures in the morning and afternoon with your group and another group, but I do it just that would be awesome. That's what I would do.
like a 60-foot table where you start on the first 10 feet and you have Bill the Master Crafters just designing the last 40 feet. That's mine. That's mine. Where you're just, someone just designing.
Sorry, I'm
at
picturing the
other end.
gears being slid.
Yeah. But there's different
But that board
crafts
game where you have to
of
catch them at
people
the
who
end.
want to play. There's
Yeah.
designers and there's
Right.
DMs and there, you incorporate everybody that's playing and the dudes that want to 3D print are on the back end in this big sandbox. Ooh,
Be awesome.
Let's just make a pole barn someday. Yeah.
That would be cool. We'll
Pole
see.
barn.
That's I think
Pole
that's,
barn con.
That's four
Yeah.
years away. No, seriously. When I retire from my real job, I think that'd be
And
something.
for me, it's back in the good old days when TSR would have a secret summit at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Because it was the only time they could get us all together.
Lots of jacuzzis.
And no, not that sort of secret summit. And we'd wander away into a a classy restaurant that gamers couldn't afford, as the executives would say, and we'd have a summit and plan the next edition of the game. And then they'd say, doesn't leave this room. And then you go right back into the con and people would say, geez, I wonder when they're going to put out that next dice set. And you're going, but it was a great feeling.
Nobody buying Dracolich this year.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it was this great fun of, you're in the secret club. And in fact, it was hilarious because I can remember Rich Baker preceding us, and he goes to the men's room and he slaps the sign on the door when he goes in. And the sign says, remember, don't talk about the secret things. Well, we're in the urinals, you know. It's like military operation.
No urinal talk.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyone else with that one?
I know for me, similar to you, Jay, we've been playing for going on 5 years now, and our group is spread out from like across the U.S.
Yeah, yours is really spread out.
So I would love, we have all the money in the world to bring all those people together.
Yeah.
For
In one spot?
Yeah, I mean, we've done it once where we got everybody together for spring break and just did Strahd in a weekend.
Yeah, we powered
Yeah,
Strahd.
we powered
Everybody
Strahd.
got to be level 10 now.
Yeah.
We powered Strahd in a week. Yeah.
So I would love to just have our group together and all in person.
Yeah.
Because we just play online. So
Good times.
Yeah, that's the best part. Just sitting around a table.
We have it in virtual because every year we do virtual GreyOutCon. And anyone can run whatever they want and put in games, and that's kind of like the community event, but it's not in person. But it's good. I mean, but I'd love to have it. And people are like, you should have because I'm a con. I'm like, no, I just can't do it. I cannot. There's not enough hours in the day to have it. This is why I love GaryCon so much.
Yep.
Having everyone together. Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Oh, okay. So you can die happy.
Everybody's sad now.
Mike has run so many like war game versions of like during second edition where everyone is dead in the old Grey Hall.
Napoleonic Black Powder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's doing a lot of fun stuff.
Yep.
Come on, Rachel, you gotta have a thing you're like, oh my god, I want to do
Oh,
that.
I said my castle one.
Oh yeah, you did. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you
That was
think?
You better say castle.
I mean, the castle would be a really awesome place to play a game. But I agree with having the friends who are across like states. You can't really get together with typically. Having that ability to just no money, no time issues, like everyone can just show up and play the game. Like there's nothing that compares to having friends just there in person and having a moment to have a game together. It's so good.
So when you guys were in line, there was like 5 of you, right?
Yeah.
Are you all local when you play?
No, they're from all over the place too.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. That they're here.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah. Very, very cool.
And although the D&D in a castle thing is not barrier free, because you have to get on a plane and pay for that, you have to pay to get in, thousands, and you have to pay while you're there. If that was all out of the way, the cool thing about D&D in a castle, as was said earlier in our first thingy, is you have 24 hours of gaming with the same people over consecutive days.
Yes.
So instead of a one-shot, you could do like an entire campaign.
You could really bond with some strangers.
Dude,
pretty
that'd be
quick.
great.
Yeah.
A little secret. Someone at this table was invited to run at D&D in a castle and turned them down.
Yes, I did.
Me too.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
No time. I was already booked for 3 things, and I have a day job.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a terrible.
Hey, look.
Gods!
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. I have to. There's a deadline here.
Yeah.
There's a deadline here. There's a deadline
Your
here.
books are just
and,
awful, too.
and I
Yeah,
want to
and-
do a novel,
Yeah.
and I've got
Stop.
a day job who won't give me the time off.
Yeah.
So, what I said was, if you could bring the castle
To me.
out into the library parking lot, I could nip out during my breaks and run D.
Well, build a Mastercrafter if we can build a bigger 3D printer.
Yeah.
We just got new for you, Brent.
Yeah. I think I was invited to the. I think it was the second or the third castle I was invited to. So they sent me, and I wrote the contract and all that. The problem was that, and I thought I scheduled it really well with actually a trip to see my relatives and friends in Sweden, and then pop over to England and spend like a week there, or 10 days I think it was, like a week, and then 4 days of extra add-on games and stuff like that. And then do it. But the problem was, then I got a commission I didn't want to turn down, and my stepdad passed away, so we had a family. Yeah, there was a lot of things happened. So I told them, nope, not this year. So I had like a standing invitation to come back, but I've always been busy with a bunch of other stuff. So I haven't gotten around to it.
$4,000 to go to that castle, or $4,000
Oh
to
yeah.
bring your friends.
Well,
in?
they
I
pay
would
the
pay that
DMs
gas
too.
money and
So
plane ticket
yeah.
any day, and
Yep.
we would sit on the couches or on our knees and have the best time.
Yep.
I do know a person, they shall remain nameless, who went to D&D in a castle, loved it, called his daughter and said, "You should be here." She said, "Okay." So he sent his private jet back across the Atlantic to pick her up.
I mean,
right there. Yeah. And paid her,
Yes.
That's probably a lot of the kind of people that.
Moral of the story
Because
is
it's
find
not
someone
cheap.
with a private jet.
Yeah.
Guys, I promise you, when I get to that, you know what I mean? We're all in.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
With or without a hand. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll see you in the morning.
That was fun.
I know where the chop house is, sir.
It's gonna be a good game tomorrow. It's gonna be good. The wedding event is gonna be awesome and really crazy. All of them are gonna be crazy. All the games. But I have someone here who's gonna get really the 5th degree because I'm running Tower of Gygax. and is playing in that game.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm ready.
I have 10 people in that game because Rose Estes and her son is playing too, the writer.
Yeah.
And it's going to be just bedlam. It's going to be bedlam. Tower of Gygax is mass carnage. And it's not an official campaign game. So, yeah, so that's good.
Mass carnage.
Oh, that's
Mass
the
carnage.
whole point. Yeah.
And some of the great build crafts that no one's seen yet. We've been hiding them. So, yes, for this. So, yeah. So we'll see. It'll be fun. And anyone else playing in D&D in the castle? Hey, Alan!
How are you, man?
Alan, good to see you.
You too.
And this is Gary.
Yeah, it is, though. That's,
Yep.
I think a few of my sessions last year, people just dropping in, or streamers like, I sat back to back to you in my first D&D
9 minutes.
session
What do you
here
got going
at
on?
Gary Con, and I was just like, I think I'm done playing D&D for life. I'm playing back to back with Greenwood, and I'm just like looking over my shoulder, and it was like, that's it. I think I have
just a guy.
met Elysium of D&D, and I'm out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just a guy. The secret
Yeah, but
is
look what you've
refuse
done
to
for
go
our realm.
away.
Look what you've done for our realm.
Well, okay. Yeah,
Do
yeah.
not dismiss that. You've
No,
given
no.
us so much lore. It's amazing. Anyways, I will fight you for this. Yeah. The lore that you've given us is amazing. Sorry.
That's okay.
This is amazing.
So, anything else that's a dream thing somebody would like to do in gaming? Yeah.
All right, thanks. Good seeing you.
Well,
All right, now.
there's two primary things that would potentially come to mind. Number one, copyright can sometimes be a thing, right? And not every fictional universe has its own RPG system. They're a bit more developed over time, but basically the ability to know who you are, create any RPG system for any universe, combining them all into one big massive campaign where each episode takes place within a different universe, sort of like a whole multiversal spread. As the characters go along, they pick up different items and stuff from the different universes, culminating in one big battle. and of course, run it as a whole charity thing to make $1 billion. And to solve all of
I was
problems.
like, wait, there's Star Destroyers? There's like, this is $1 billion.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, money's no issue.
Gee, this is great.
For whosoever draws the Star Destroyer from the stone shall henceforth be rightful king of all England.
What?
Star Wars and 240K and Tom Sawyer.
Is that how you become a Jedi?
Yeah. Mess things up. That, or if money is truly no issue, build a time machine, bring Abraham Lincoln back, and introduce him to D&D and blow his freaking.
Oh boy, would you have changed the course of history. Yes.
Anna, what you got a question for the group?
Oh, that was difficult. I'm just
Oh, I'm
digesting
sorry.
my ice cream here. Yeah. We talked about length before. What's the longest game you've ever run? We talked about D&D in the castle. You can have 24 hours spread out over 4 days.
And it's still going.
Yeah.
We're on 6 years right now.
Okay, but what's the longest session you've ever
Sessions
had?
you're talking about. Even if it's a break, like a whole weekend.
Mine is 26 hours.
Yeah, she's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, we played when I was in my 20s. We had a 26 hour. And I remember because my stepdad, I came home when he was going to work the next day, and he's there like, have you been out all night? Yes. And so we kept it up. So, but that's what you do when you're young.
You win, but
I'm
I
sorry.
can't keep it up all night.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We try it online. Well, we do it online, so
Yeah, there you can. Yeah.
If you go back,
that was probably what we did.
that one day was like 11 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that was amazing. But I'm that kind of nerd where I can just not stop.
Yeah.
I'm exhaustingly Dungeons and Dragons. I could play non-stop. Yep, but that is a rare breed.
You actually stopped to eat? That 24-hour stream killed me, man.
I'm gonna start a nursing home. This is what
Yeah.
I'm doing. I'm saving up money.
That sounds
It's called the
awesome.
dungeon, where you drop your grandparents off at the dungeon.
Yeah.
And I'm going to watch me. You know what I mean? Trademark. Like, where's the camera? Trademark.
Yep.
It's called the dungeon, where it's just a TTRPG platform where you just drop me off when I have like a little bit of Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? And
then you just
just
play. Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons forever.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Sign me up for that. Yep.
Yeah.
I need it in like 15
Be
years.
in my cell, come out, play D&D,
Yeah.
and come out. Huge fan. No? Not a fan, Jay?
Oh, I thought
You don't want that nursing home?
Yeah.
You gotta pee and poop, Jay. You gotta go pee and poop.
We all know.
Take your pills.
We all know what I do now, so yeah.
Would this not be amazing?
Yeah.
Well, you'll be there.
Oh my gosh. Well,
You and me together.
I'll get thrown out of the house sooner or later by my wife, so maybe, probably, yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Kidding.
For legal purposes.
Lucas Gygax is over your shoulder.
Hey, Luke. How's it going? Hey, man. We're good for, you good for like 7:40?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good for round 3.
All right.
The
Sounds
trolls
good.
are coming, man.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you then.
I'd kiss you, but Ed would do that, right?
Yes, Ed would be jealous.
Yeah, Ed would be jealous. So.
Lucian Paul Gygax.
Yeah, I pushed round 3 back about 10 minutes since we're running late for round 2. So there you go.
We are always running
We're
late.
always running late. So, great questions. Hey, Darlene. Oh my gosh. Do you know? Does everyone know who this is?
Yes.
I'm saying
Yes.
this is the creator of the Greyhawk original map, Darlene.
Yes. Yep.
I think you're on camera
bunch of
right
other
now. Wow, I'm trying to get you. I can't get you on camera, Darlene, because you're.
Here, have my seat.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's great. Wow. Awesome. Great to see you.
Yes. Exactly. That's
So that map
wonderful.
that everyone knows about Greyhawk, the map, that's Darlene created.
Very nice.
Wow, it's good to see you.
Hey.
Just two bros.
And a bunch of dragon covers, a lot of other art from the original books, and so much more. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
So, speaking of that, what's like a piece of memorabilia in gaming and D&D or whatever that's like, wow, that's what brought me in? What is it? I mean, for me, it's the heraldry of the Greyhawk folio and the map and Darling's map. They're the two things, right?
Same here.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think? Something from Forgotten Realms?
Yep.
Yeah.
The map and the heraldry, definitely.
Like what is like? I love it. From D&D.
Personally, what got me in it was a novel.
Okay.
It was The Legend of Gumo from Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what else.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. And yeah, and in fact, the script that I use on my stream is Greyhawk Gothic that Darling created. So yep, that we bought the rights to.
And Anna helped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did a little bit of the computer technical part and stuff that made it happen. So to speak.
Round
So, yep.
3.
Yeah.
And hang for about 10, okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of the
That's
shop.
all right. That's Chuck can get in there. Chuck can get in there. So, anyone else with like what drew you into D&D?
Yeah.
I was dating a guy.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
A guy, not that guy?
It's not that guy, no.
Wow.
But it did come back around though, because afterwards when I met him and we were dating, he was like, wait, you play D&D? Please run a game for me, please, please. And I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to.
So
It sounds
he didn't
confusing.
play and
he had
you
never
played?
played, and he knew I played.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
then how he bribed me to run a game for him was he bought me some really pretty sparkly dice.
Yeah.
And they were very beautiful. And so then I was like, okay, I'll run a game for you.
Yeah.
And then eventually he liked it together.
And then that turned you into a gamer?
Then what hooked me was she was running the game for us, and it was the first session. There was my character decided to do something reckless and jump out a window and face a guy who should have won. He should have lost 2-1 battle, but he's like, I'm just gonna be crazy with no armor, jump out this window, fight this guy, and I beat him.
Yeah.
And that hooked me from that point on because I didn't. There's no way I should have beat that guy.
Yeah.
But somehow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, game broke my game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
how
great.
it
Wait,
goes.
how long ago was that?
Oh, we were engaged, I think, so that was like
2013.
Yeah.